looks like the whole valley is full of rain. We'll see how this goes. We don't have to spend much time here because I don't want to get stuck here overnight. Welcome back to the vlog and welcome here to Goroka, Papua New Guinea. My name is Ryan. We're heading out to Samogu, just a 20-minute flight to a really cool bush location to pick up a sick person and some other people. So let's go ahead and get started. Igniter's on and our fuel pump on. Make sure everything's back. Fuel's on and low start. So energy is over 14%. I'll introduce my fuel. Watch the rate of the NG, make sure it's coming up over 35% and continuing on, and then I look at the ITT and just check to see that it's not going to go under the yellow or just the speed of it, how fast it goes up. So, ready, igniter's off, fuel pump off, or back to standby I should say. Once he's disconnected the start cart, we'll throw a generator on, let it spike up, then our alternator on, do the same. Then our aux bus. Well, we're here in Goroka, in the middle of Papua New Guinea, which is just north of Australia, and we are going to be heading out to kind of this area right in here. So we'll just head out here around 9,000, as long as the clouds will allow us to. Let's go through this real quick. Our fuel caps and selectors are good. Our controls are good. We'll leave TAWS enabled for now. Switches and instruments. We're 5,700, so 56 and 65. 65 if we have to come land. 56 for rotate. Flaps are set, indicated and verified at 20. Our trim is already set up. And our board, if we're not 50 knots by this taxiway, we'll board on the runway after takeoff. We'll pitch for 85, consider EPL. We'll consider feather, otherwise 80 full flaps. Our call on tower, master's off, crack my door, and go straight ahead unless we're over 1,500 feet. Goroka Tower, good morning, November Tango Kilo, request taxi Samogu, 3 POB.
November Tango Kilo, roger. Taxi 17 left in a bit, tracking lineup, 1022.
1022, cleared to backtrack and lineup, 17 left, November Tango Kilo. Is that pulling out of the runway?
Second POB.
3 POB.
Roger.
My overspeed, governor check, and that checks out good. If you guys are interested in picking up one of these for yourself, home simulator, or if you fly a plane or you're a flight student at a flight school or whatever, you own your own airplane, I've got a couple of these different versions on my website now available for you guys. They're a really handy tool. Single pilot ops, just keep your eyes up and out where they need to be so you're not looking at paper checklists and losing your place. So it is 21 degrees out, so we're gonna set our torque for takeoff at 1390 because we're in bypass, and as we get going it will jump up to around 1450, 1440 I should say. Goroka Tower, November Tango Kilo, ready for departure.
Kilo, left hand, clear for takeoff.
Left hand, clear for takeoff, November Tango Kilo. Right, ignition, inlet, and lights are good, clear for takeoff, harnesses, and high idle. $13.90, rotate at 56. Torque is set, airspeed's alive. There's 50 and continuing, and there's 56 already. We're pretty light out today. Look, it's going to be a really nice flight out. Looks like all the
Traffic,
clouds are...
7 o'clock, same altitude, 0 miles.
That's just a helicopter that's sitting on the ramp. Pitch up a little bit higher just so we can get up over top of this cloud layer. It looks to be around 6,000. Pitch for 73 knots. That's our VX climb. And it gets us the most amount of altitude and the shortest amount of distance. So that means if there's clouds right in front of you, you pitch for 73 knots. And you'll climb out, get the most amount of altitude in that. Yeah, like I said, the shortest amount of distance. There we go, right over. Too easy. Pitch back over, get our airspeed back up, start getting our flaps out once we're over 85 knots. Get my sunglasses out, it's starting to get bright already. Over 85, we go 10 degrees of flaps. Let it climb up over 90 knots and still climbing up, then we'll go 0 degrees and bring our prop to 2,000 RPM. Got a little bit of that right rudder pressure out now that we don't have quite as much of a high angle of attack for climb. Stroke Tower, November Tango Kilo, departed time 4-1, tracking 150 on climb, not above 9,000, estimating Smogu 02.
Tango Kilo, contact Moresby 1207, VHF 6622, 15 miles.
1207, 6622, 15 miles, November Kilo. You can see my altimeter setting here flashing my QNH, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it down. Once we basically go through close to 7,000, let me get under this layer right here though first. We're going to turn it down to 1012, which is basically 10 under what it is for the local QNH, is usually what area QNH is. Alright, looks like we can head out at 9,000. Let's go ahead and continue on our climb up. So right now here in Papua New Guinea with COVID and everything, to be able to fly domestic, you basically have to get a COVID test within 24 hours of flying. Thankfully I don't, because I'd have to have one every day. But yeah, for passengers and stuff, that's for our missionaries, that's for any commercial passengers we're picking up, and that's what I'm picking up today. So I'm flying a health lady out here with me today, and she can do the COVID test, a quick like 15-minute COVID test right there on the ground for my passengers before I can fly them out. We'll do our landing light off, engine inlet back to normal, turn our igniters off. While I'm out here, I'm going to shoot a little on-the-ground video for you guys, for my patrons. Really, it's an extra content that I make for all the places I go to. I walk around, show a little bit of what it looks like on the ground, throw my drone up. If you're interested in that, you guys can check the link out down below. Every once in a while, I will also make a video available for everybody that I do on my Patreon, or if I have an older one and I'm showing you something in a later video, I usually will just make that post available for everybody to watch. Alright, now we're at 9,000. We're just leveled off. We'll go ahead and bring our power right here back. My torque's at 1450. We're going to bring it up back to 1250.
November Tango Kilo, Mike Alpha Lima 187.
November Tango Kilo, go ahead.
You're for Smogu, correct?
Affirm.
Okay, have you a bit tight. I'm also headed towards Smogu. Maybe I'll go to my Marowaka drop off first.
Probably going to be on the ground for a little bit. I have passengers to pick up, and they have to have COVID tests out there. So I can just move off to the side if we like. I know we've had 2 planes out there before.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Okay, then I'll land if the weather lets me, and then we'll park as tight as possible, I guess.
Have you taken off yet?
Hey, firm, I'm 18 miles to run Smogu.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm probably going to be there longer than you. Good question. You could maybe park off far off to the left of the top, and then I can park on the other side, and then you can move forward depending on how much weight you have to take out of there.
So, you know what? I'll go do my, I have my Marowaka and send any drop-off, so I'll go do those ones first.
All right, sounds good. Moresby 6622, November Tango Kilo, transfer. Moresby November Tango Kilo, 15 miles to the southeast, Kuroka, maintaining 9,000. Copy Mike Alpha Lima, estimating Smogu, time 58.
Tango Kilo, copy average KNH 1011, no additional reporting traffic.
1011, no extra traffic, November 10 Kilo. Just looking up there, I've got a kind of a hole here that's coming up. Now I'm gonna have to get down here pretty soon. Let's just bring up, I'm already about halfway out there almost. Yeah, just 10 more minutes to go, I'm already halfway. If you look at the strip chart here, elevation's 4,600, so I'm gonna turn this bug down here to 5,600. Make sure that it's Simogu, it's a 7% slope, but the touchdown zone's only like a 5% slope. So I think I'm going to go ahead and start my descent now. Underneath this layer here, so I'm not stuck on top of it. It might open up back there further on up because I can see some ridges just peeking over the clouds up there. So more than likely it's open up there as well, but actually, Mike Alpha Lima 1207, November and Kilo.
Go ahead, Mike Alpha Lima.
Yeah, over top of Simogu, is it clear or is there a layer?
Yeah, there's a layer. I think it looks okay underneath. Where am I? 5 miles to the north. Looks like there's a break maybe overhead or just to the south of Simogu.
Okay, well there's a big break up here. Another 23 miles to run, so I'm just going to drop down now, thanks.
Probably easier.
There we go. That's nice to have other traffic already up that way. Okay, so 5,600 is what I'm going to be going down to. Actually, touchdown zone is 4,450, so let's do 5,500 for our pattern altitude. Really nice day out today. Lots of clouds, but these are the days I love. Nice high overcast, keeps it nice and cool in the cockpit. Lots of kind of ground foggish clouds, makes it a little more interesting, makes it a little bit more challenging. These are great. Just 5 minutes out. I'm going to go ahead and start up my checklist now. Our fuel selectors and brakes. I've got my right fuel off for the time being just because I'm out of balance on fuel just a tiny bit. Our TAWs, let's turn TAWs off. Our VREF, which is our approach speed. We're going to be basically 65, maybe 64. Let's say 64. Lights and inlet. We can throw our landing light on. We've already got our taxi light on pulse. We just leave that on all the time. When it is cloudy like this is really nice to have your terrain inset down here. You can put it on the big map as well, but I just don't like how cluttered it looks. So this just really quickly tells me, you know, red you're dead, yellow caution. So it's a nice way when there is lots of clouds and you can't see the ridges as well. Not that I'm going to go through any clouds when I'm this close to terrain, but absolute worst case scenario, you have that as a backup in case you just got in some kind of pinch that you shouldn't have. And no matter how well you know the terrain, when it's cloudy like this, lots of clouds, low to the ground, covering up lots of the ridges, it's hard to know sometimes what valley goes where. So looking at this, you go, oh, you know, I can see where the big valley goes here and up there. Even if you're maneuvering around for clouds, you still can quickly go, okay, yep, there it is. And you can also obviously look up here. Let's autopilot off. And our torque on back to 1250. All stations Simogu 120.7, Kodiak November Tango Kilo 10 miles to the north, passing 6,700. Circuit time Simogu 57. We're landing on runway 16. I have my OBS, turn it to runway 160. Oh, there we go. Clearing up better than I thought. Nice. Looks like potential rain up just behind Simogu, though. Well, we called out here for weather. Oh, yeah, blue skies. We see blue skies. I don't see any blue skies. I see gray skies and rain and clouds. Flip our fuel back on, flip that switch down. We've got our VREF done, our light is done. We'll do inlet here in a second. On this one, if we have to go around it, so we can do it really late final. We'll power up 20 degrees of flaps. It's for 73 knots and a left-hand turnout, reset our ITT to 740. I'm due for a go-around. Every month we have to do one for practice. But I've got like a first-time flyer on board today, so I think I'll pass on the go-around today and make it as nice as I can for them. And it looks like there's even some rain in the valley. Awesome. And also, there's a World War II plane crash right in this area somewhere down here. I've never found it, but another one of our pilots has told me about it before. Someday I'll see if I can find that and show you guys, because it sounds pretty cool.
1207 Marawaca, Mike Alpha Lima is transiting the Marawaca Gap for circuit 59 Marawaca.
Yeah, there's a bunch of rain in the valley. Awesome. All stations, Smogu 1207. November Tango Kilo is in the circuit, Smogu. Alright, let's push our prop forward. Looks like the whole valley is full of rain. We'll see how this goes. Slow on down, bring our power back. That helps us slow down. Okay, the airstrip itself does not have rain. Or maybe just a couple of sprinkles. There's a lot more rain up there though. 10 degrees of flaps, bypass. Already talked about that. Prop and harness. Moresby 6622, November Tango, Kilo in the circuit, Smogu, report after landing.
November Tango, Kilo.
Okay. Now, it is sprinkling. Okay, yeah, it's barely sprinkling. It's not even enough to make it barely beat up on my windshield, so let's give it a go. It's gonna stay at this lower altitude, basically 500 feet. 20 degrees of flaps. Prop and harness is done. It's because of the clouds. If I get up to 1,000, I'm gonna be in the clouds. 164 on final, 74 on base. Hopefully we don't have to spend much time here because I don't want to get stuck here overnight. 24 and 84 on downwind. And we only want 5,000, so I only got 180 feet more to go. It's 4450, but basically 5,000 over at this hill is where I turn final. So you guys have asked, how do you always know where to turn? Basically, I have key points that I go to at specific altitudes. You just learn that by practice, and then you just do the exact same thing every time and get the same results. Going to 74 knots on base. Actually, it looks like it's clearing. It's not even sprinkling now. That's awesome. Just a ton of scuzziness around.
500.
There's my 500. Gonna hold my altitude for a second. Full flaps, checklist is complete, turning final. Slowing to 64 knots. Yeah, it's a headwind. Rain is stopping, that's nice. It's just barely misting. What about my continuing? This little rig
500
is my committed. All right, no rain. That's good. All right, I'm committed. Oh, this is really nice. Usually Smogu is like crazy rough. This is the smoothest and nicest I've ever seen it in 5 years. Must have done some work. Anyways, guys, thanks for joining along. I'm picking up these 6 passengers, getting out of here hopefully before MAF comes in here, because as you can see, there's not a lot of room. So I'm going to park up way up to the top, just in case MAF does get done with their flying and gets over here before I get out of here. Moresby 6622, November Tango, Kilo, on the ground, Smogu, cancel SAR. November Tango, Kilo. Alright, checklist is complete, and let's go ahead and shut down. All our lights off. Again, guys. See you next time.
All right, Trooper. Welcome to Mogu.
Thank you.
Yes, welcome.